A time where people do things such as light candles and spend time with their loved ones. Well, not me, I got more silly stuff to do. Yes, one reason why I title this just simply holiday traditions is that I don't really celebrate any of them. No, not even Robonica or Kwanzaa. And most of the stuff that I do is just seasonally during this month from memories of happening to do it during this month. Although, if I could choose one that I most closely associate with, it would be Crimbo, just cause it's the one that everybody around me tends to celebrate, and there are a lot of things that I do on the 20th specifically. However, it's less so because of that holiday, and more so it's just stuff I remember doing on that day in particular, and I'm just doing it again because I'm like that. I'm very sentimental and like to keep up these dumb traditions. Well, anyway, I will get started with everything that I do during this month, this special time of year. A lot of it comes from 2019 and started there because that's my favorite season in terms of like years that happened. So, yeah, but once it hits December, the first thing I have to do is listen to the classic Spidey Christmas from the Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse movie trademark. And yes, I love Spidey bells and, Deck the Halls and all that stuff. And Joy to the World is probably the best one. I like to imagine Miles clapping like a baby when he's laughing at the start of it. And to talk about things that I don't generally do, but just simply reminds me of this time of month, or this time of year, more likely this month. In 2019, I just remember a lot because this is when the last Shovel Knight update came out with King of Cards and the multiplayer Smash Brothers like platform fighter thing, whatever you want to call it, mode came out. And I was playing that a lot then, and it's my favorite package of the Shovel Knight game because not only do I think it's just like the most fun stuff, even with that card game, but which granted I could easily cheese. But anyway, just because, again, like it came out during that year and that month, and it was just such a great time playing that, and I love the ship expanding in Dough, and definitely my favorite, even if it's not something I necessarily like to replay just because I don't really feel like it, but also I'll have to turn on my Wii U. Yes, I have Shovel Knight on the Wii U of all consoles, and that was like the last like latent update for a game for the Wii U. It was pretty amazing and bizarre to see, and I just think of like Sarah Infinity streams during this time too, like the one time he streamed Dreams, and it wasn't just complete meme shit for once, and I sometimes might like to mess around in Bully Scholarship Edition just because again, and have Russell Smash in the library. But one thing that connects to this that reminds me of all of it that I definitely have to do is, it's when I first got into vib-ribbon, and I'm surprised I never got into the game before, but my friend over here, who I've talked about enough, introduced me to it, and I listened to the soundtrack and watched the game, and just absolutely loved it, and now it's one of my favorite games, and I've looked deep into the lyrics and the song's meanings, and I love them, and Sunny Days hits the closest for me, and I love all the rest, like overflowing emotions, of course, and, Fibri herself is awesome. Just look at this awesome bunny frog princess fairy, and I included her in a lot of things at the time, and drew the art of her, and, not suggestive, but I did it, and yeah, that was fantastic. I love this game. Definitely check out vib-ribbon if you haven't. It's infinite amounts to look at. There's even an iceberg chart video that's pretty decent on this for such a kind of more under mainstream franchise or topic. So, it's always a welcome thing. And now, once we hit the 25th, that's when I have to do things specifically on that day. You see, the season reminds me of certain things, again, such as song and stuff, but I don't touch that too much, even though I did play R on this time before. But that's beyond that. I always, since 2019, have to do this. I have to play the Mercenaries mode on Resident Evil 4. Yes, because you see, I was talking to my friend, and randomly he just asked me in the middle of anything, did Dr. Salvador ever give you trouble in this game? And we started talking about that out of nowhere, because he happened to be playing it on Christmas, just because, it's Resident Evil 4, why not? And I was like, well, no, I feel like playing it because of that, and that's just where it happened. I have to play Mercenaries now on Crimbo to keep up the tradition and spirit of this, and I specifically have to do that 4th level with Dr. Salvador. I usually choose Hunk. And I can confirm that, yes, Dr. Salvador is a complete fucking asshole pain in the ass in this game. Fucking this guy. And then, this is something that actually goes beyond 2019 into 2020, which is my other favorite time for this, is that, you see, something that I started doing on Crimbo is I watched the Real Jim's review videos for the first 8 seasons of The Simpsons. The season reviews and the top 10s. And I really enjoy those videos, and something that helps get me really into classic Simpsons and start appreciating it. And this is the main source, or one of them, for me to start making that giant Power Levels tier list, which I still update, and I have to make a small one around this time all the time, even though it's absolutely huge and nobody touches it. But hear my words, I will be sharing this again around the 25th, probably sometime a bit after that, and you all will update it. We have to see who's brave, who's the strongest, who is willing to do all of it, and complete it, and save it, so I can see, and there's like a community ranking of it, and, you know, let's see who isn't a coward once I do a community post of that later this month, and I bet you all don't. But yeah, I love those videos from him a lot, and Evergreen Terrace Message is when I really first started getting into him. I haven't watched the Real Gems much this year. I used to be subscribed to him, but I don't know, honestly, I just haven't really been enjoying the videos he's been putting out this year, but that's beside that. But after that, now, this is something that, again, just generally I check out once during this month, is watching Jingle All the Way, just because, again, like, I mean, Finney talked about this movie a lot, just how ridiculous it is, and it is. It's one of my favorites, just because how fucking stupid it is. But I then got a lot of memories beyond that, again, around 2019, of just having the movie on the background as I was talking to my friends, and I love the atmosphere of this movie, genuinely, even if it is fucking dumb, especially that diner scene, and, you know, it's a piece of that I have to watch it at least once. It's gotten to the point where usually I do it maybe the day after, on like the 26th, or just sometime before December ends after the 25th. It doesn't matter as long as it happens. But yeah, that's most things that I do around this time. Now, I want to tell a funny story that happened, again, in 2019, and I don't remember the specific day. I want to say it might have been Christmas Eve, or at least close to it, but it reminds me of that day the most. I could probably find out exactly when, but I'm just too lazy. I didn't think to do it beforehand. But my other friend, Alex the Menace here, who they go by on the site, sent me some gifts. It was very generous, very nice of them. I was very much appreciated and grateful for it. But you see, it arrived without me immediately knowing, and my mom saw it first. Now, they sent me 2 things, firstly, okay? One thing was socks, which I know that's like the funny, like, stupid kid gift that you don't like, but, you know, I really like the socks, and I still have them now, and it's something that you appreciate more after you stop being baby. But they sent me another thing. They sent me a handsome Squidward figure, like a statue of handsome Squidward. But I didn't know that at first because my mom saw it first, and without looking at the address or names or anything, she for whatever reason thought this was for her and thought some like weird mistake or something happened, and she helped herself to just take it and try returning it to Walmart, like, again, without any like contacting or questioning much of what the fuck is this, and she tried immediately returning it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And Al was like talking to me and being like, you're supposed to get another thing, and then she came back with it, and she's showing like, I tried returning this, but they don't sell it there, and thank fuck that they don't sell it, because imagine if that happened, and all the complications it would cause. And she was like, well, there's this thing. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I was like, I think that's for me. And yes, it turned out it was. And, you know, Alex was kind of mad at first, but I just thought it was funny since it didn't turn out bad, which was nicely something that happened more back then for me. But anyway, yes, it was always just kind of funny. My mom joked about it too, like, oh, he went for a ride. And yeah, like, it's just such a nice, stupid, cliche sitcom, jingle all the way movie style story that's awesome. And yeah, but speaking of which, this is also the point where you should watch the Kook's holiday special, which is something that I have to do all the time. To as cringe-inducing as it might be, yes, I'm saying that sincerely, but hey, it's great. It's only my segments that fucking suck, and I'm not even sure if the video's on the list or not, but you go searching for that on your own. It's something that I have to sit through all the time, but, you know, it's the spirit that counts. It reminds me of good times, and in that video, I mentioned how weird it is of how warm out it feels for December, and, you know, in hindsight, I'm not complaining about that at all. Again, it was a much more innocent, nice time, and yeah, I've been playing Diddy Kong Racing music back too. That's something that I also like to play during this time, especially on the eve. But those are my stupid traditions and my stupid story. Thank you for listening.